If you want to be poor, don't be poor at work. You just need to be poor in your way of thinking. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard, because whatever you think about all day adds ingredients to this mental factory. And that's what makes up your life's economic, social, and financial fabric. The way we think things are, not just the way they are, has the most impact on our lives. He quoted a Bible verse that says, "As you think, so you become." And when we talked about bad thinking habits, he had me think of this verse. Yeah, you can believe it or not. I'd get a coffee and read the paper, and it would be full of stories about wars, riots, murders, stabbings, killings, bank robberies, muggings, car accidents, and deaths. For some reason, I liked that stuff, and I read up on it before starting the day. You can imagine the kind of days I used to have you on your knees with money. One asked me, "Mr. Rohn, how do you build a good life?" I told them, "It's sinful, it's not easy, but it's simple. Choose the right ingredients and keep out the bad stuff. Everything starts with a thought, so be smart and careful about what you think about because it sets the tone for everything else. You choose what goes into your mental factory. Do not let anyone put anything they want in your mental factory because you have to live with the outcome." The guy says, "Great, I want to be a great leader." So the first thing we do is follow him home and check out his library. First, someone asks, why check his library? Because what a person reads builds his mental factory and shapes his life, and trust me, you wouldn't believe what some people read. Can you imagine putting a barrel of trash into your mental factory every day and coming out with a rich, dynamic, positive life? It's not possible. You don't have to read or listen to educational material for half the night. But if you're poor, it's a good place to begin. But all I ask is that you do it for 30 minutes a day. If you can, do it for an hour. Being rich is a good thing. For at least 30 minutes a day, listen to or read something difficult or educational. And here's the next important thing. Miss a meal, but don't skip your 30 minutes. Hey, you can live without some meals, but you can't live without some ideas. Some examples and ideas. How easy is it to get up in the morning when you know you're not doing everything you need to? It's not very easy at all. You can lie there awake thinking, "Oh well, what's a few more minutes in bed? It won't matter much anyway." And I tell you, you are wrong. It will matter. Now, how easy is it to get up in the morning when you're putting in all your effort, eager to get going and make progress toward your goals? That's a whole different story. There's a big difference between being rested and being pumped up and excited about your life. When you're excited about what you want to do that day, you'll wake up before the alarm even tries to go off. Your victories motivated you to keep going and made it possible for you to have more victories. It's called the snowball effect. And when you have one success, you're excited to meet another one. And eventually, the things that were hard at first but got you going become part of your philosophy. How do you know when you're successful? All we ask is that you earn as much as you can. If you can only make $10,000 a year, that's fine with us. God will take care of you. The important thing is to just do your best. If that's $10,000 a year, great. If it's $1 million a year, great. That's why the most important thing in life is growth. And you have to do the best you can and keep growing until you're done. You need to spend time with successful people. But don't forget that you can also learn from unsuccessful people. And please take notes on both the good and the bad. The negative notes are called what not to do notes. And you need to learn both what to do and what not to do. Look into what poor people read and don't read. But now you can also learn from what good people read. It's important to pay attention to what they say and how they say it. We all have 16 hours of waking time each day. So use those 16 hours to practice listening. Because I learned that it's easier to talk than to listen. Great ideas will come from unexpected places if you practice listening for the 16 hours you're awake. Now, here's some of the best advice I have for the evening. Poor people should take rich people out to dinner and listen. If a guy is having a bad day, he should find a guy who is having a good day and offer to buy that guy dinner. It takes 15 minutes to start talking about the salad, 45 minutes to make the best burger in town, and another 15 minutes to finish the burger and add the finishing touch. In this time, you can get a successful person to eat and talk for 2 hours. They'll probably drop ideas on you. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you realize that being a good listener made all the difference? Are there specific challenges you face in these areas, or perhaps success stories you'd like to share? This is a safe space to exchange insights and learn from one another. Your stories and thoughts could be incredibly valuable for others in our community. Change your life and make twice as much money as you did before. If you're opening a restaurant that specializes in fresh seafood, you're all excited to get going and see the money coming in instead of going out. Because you're all excited, you want to open early, but you don't want to be late for the grand opening, so you do. Customers start coming in early because they're all excited about the new great restaurant and want fresh seafood. But now you're panicking because you don't have any and aren't ready because the fresh seafood shipment won't arrive for another week. Your lack of patience has just failed the business. Now let's say you have a great new product that will be on the market in a few months. Everything is going as planned, so you start planning your ads and big launch events. You were so sure it would happen that you set a date for it, and the engineers told you that the product wasn't ready yet, but you were sure it would be, so you started making plans and inviting a lot of important people who might buy your product. And you were so excited that you went ahead with everything, even though the product wasn't ready yet. The week of the grand unveiling, the engineers come back to you and say, it still doesn't work. And guess what? Your impatience cost you credibility in the market. First, be patient and learn to tell the difference between when the chance is right and when more work needs to be done. Number 2, keep your eyes open, even if the chance doesn't come right away. And make sure that your patience in waiting enables you to keep ready for the chance. Number 3, keep preparing for chances, even if there are delays and things aren't. Don't let your failures get the best of you, and keep preparing for chances. You need to be ready all the time. Don't give up because you're impatient. Number 4, accept both small setbacks and small wins as normal, and don't let small disappointments or successes fool you. You need to stay away from the emotional roller coaster that will always interrupt your plan. Number 5, if you're waiting for someone else to make a decision, be patient, and you can't control how or when they make it. For example, if your project was supposed to be discussed with the board at one meeting but time ran out, and it was moved to the top of the agenda for the next meeting, be patient and don't get angry about something you can't change. Number 6, take a break from your ambition. If you've been working day after day, week after week, and month after month without a break, take a break from your ambition. A patient person who is sure of their ambition knows that the drive and ambition will still be there after some time off. In fact, when they come back to it after some time off, their ambition will be stronger than ever. Persistence means being creative all the time and looking for new chances. And people who are persistent don't give up when they feel scared, down, or discouraged. People who are persistent are positive and stay on track with their plans and goals. Because time is the most powerful force in the world, or even the universe, why would you ever want to fight it when you could have it on your side? Who wouldn't want to use the great river of time that flows through all of life to make power in every part of their lives, to turn their hopes and dreams into lightning bolts of electricity that power every goal they have? True patience is more than just waiting for things to happen. Actually, being patient doesn't mean you just sit around and hope something happens, but you need to change your perspective. Instead of focusing on things you can't change, you should focus on things you can. In a strange way, young people have a lot more trouble with patience than older people who have been around longer. It seems like older people can wait longer, even though they sometimes have a lot less time to wait. How can we understand why young people are so impatient? It could be because when you're a teen or early 20-something, a year seems like a very long time, 5 years like forever, and 10 years like it's too long to tolerate. As you might imagine, older people can look back 10, 20, or even 30 years and use what they've learned to teach others patience and perspective. A patient man is always richer than an impatient man because the patient man can always afford to wait. The patient man is never desperate, and the patient man has time to spare, while the man in a hurry is always on the verge of insolvency when it comes to time. While waiting is a virtue, here is the recipe for failure. A few mistakes in judging happen every day. Why would we make the same mistake again? Here's why disaster doesn't usually hit you at the end of the first day. If you had terrible bad luck on the first day of making a mistake, we'd quickly change everything. I mean, we'd be up all night thinking about how to avoid and fix it all so that it doesn't happen again. But failure is subtle. Failure just leads you down the road. Let me tell you the key to success. With some simple habits that you should follow every day, you'll be on your way to success and be able to change anything. And all you need to do is stop going that way and start going in a different direction with some simple habits. Here's what we call those disciplines. Just simple disciplines. Remember this in your personal development quest. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack of discipline affects the rest. Every discipline you ignore affects the rest. What's interesting about success is starting a new discipline or two. And sure enough, once you do that, you'll see results. You've had some success in a few new areas, which will motivate you to clean up the rest of your expertise. And doesn't matter what new thing you do. A lack of focus will damage everything else. It doesn't take long for new signs of success to show up once you start this journey of new ways to solve problems, from making mistakes in judging to simple habits that can change everything. Make playlists of your best speeches, quotes, and personal notes, and then start making plans. New inspiration is the place to go for inspiration. I hope you know how grateful I am if you are still here with me. Feel free to give our channel a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see. Please permit yourself to share your own anecdotes in the comment section. Not only will your thoughts and experiences help our community, but they could also motivate others who watch the movie. Wishing you a good journey and a wonderful day ahead. I am grateful.